boy Barto, dude. My boy Bartolomeo. Like, no lie, I'm gonna be salty if the man doesn't stick with the crew for a minute. Like, even if he does not officially become the next Straw Hat, if he does not, you know, stick around for a little while and stick around on this adventure, on some Kinemon shit, and just he's with the crew for an arc or something like that, I'm gonna be salty, because I need this man in my life. He bursts in to fucking KYROS' house. He's just like, wait, what? 5 Straw Hats in one room? Like, the rays of light, a laser beam of epicness. Like, I'm just like, yo, my boy, just seeing fangasm. He's like, if I ever meet all of the Straw Hat All-Stars in one place, I may very well go blind. I'm just like, yo, Barto is that shit. And right now, I think I need to spend some time in this review finally getting back to that long debate that's been going on ever since Fishman Island and the Jinbei discussion with the next Straw Hat. And we've been talking about it throughout Dressrosa, the 2 main candidates being Barto and Rebecca, and it's time now that we're finally about to leave Dressrosa. It's time to get into that debate once again. But let's talk about the chapter. One Piece, chapter 796. No Kaido this week, dude. I wasn't expecting to see Kaido after the epicness of last week's chapter, dude. After I got utterly wrecked by God Oda. And this chapter is still a great chapter, but can't live up to the hype of last week. It just can't. And that's just a product of Kaido, just that introduction being utterly incredible, right? This chapter still is tying up stuff that is necessary and getting us into some stuff that is necessary to see. But right now, I'm just on some little kid shit. I'm just like, can we go now? Are we gonna leave? Like, Barto's leading them to the ship at the end of this chapter and everything, and Luffy turns around, he's like, you guys go on ahead, I got some stuff to handle. And I'm gonna talk about that in a second, but I'm just like, Luffy, man, as beast as it would be to see Luffy go up against Fujitora or TSURU or Sengoku or something like that, as beast as that would be, and I don't even think that's what he wants to stay behind for, but he may get into a little skirmish with one of them in the very part parcel of him being there and staying back. But I'm just like, bro, can we just get to the ship and go? Like, there's too many, like, Rebecca's like, yo, they're leaving, I didn't even get to say goodbye. I'm like, no, you stop that right there. You don't need to say goodbye, especially with the hinting of where, you know, King Riku is talking with, you know, Elizabello, and he's just like, yo, like, they're talking about how Rebecca is probably just as strong-willed as her mother and everything like that, kind of hinting at the fact that she won't be okay with taking the throne. And I'm just like, and especially with the rumors about her father and how KYROS isn't taking responsibility for that shit, I'm just like, please, you don't need to say goodbye. Luffy, don't tell me that the reason you want to stay back is to say goodbye to Rebecca. We don't need that whole little parlay, because then we can have the potential for Rebecca to join the Straw Hats or to follow them and to run away from her responsibilities as princess. And I don't want Rebecca to join the crew. Like, I'm just going to flat out say it. I just don't want her to join the crew. I don't want Rebecca on the journey. I don't. Like, if we were going to get anybody like in this position, like, I want Vivi. Vivi would have been so much better than Rebecca. Rebecca has utterly failed me throughout this arc. I did catch the Rebecca feels at certain points, but I don't want to join the crew, man. So that's all I have to say about that. We need Barto, and I'll say the same thing about that nigga Bellamy with his ungrateful ass talking to my boy Law. He's like, yo, he's like, he's like, I only saved you because Luffy said that it was all good. Luffy told me to, right? He was like, Luffy said that we should save your ass. If it weren't for that, we would have left you there. And the man's all ungrateful and whatnot. I swear, and I didn't see him or KYROS running behind Barto in those final panels. So I'm going to say right now, potentially they're not running off with the Straw Hats right now. Even if Bellamy gets on this ship with them, the man better depart post-haste on his own I gotta find myself journey. I don't want Bellamy sticking with the crew for even a second. Like, yes, I caught the Bellamy feels. Once again, yes, I caught some Bellamy feels when Dofi just was treating him like utter trash. I was surprised at it back then. You can remember, if you go back to that review, you'll see my reaction to it. I still don't want the man around. I don't like Bellamy like that. I'm sorry, with this ungrateful bullshit, yo, you can go. You can get to stepping, bro. Let's go. So, aside from that, this chapter, aside from my feelings about certain characters and what's about to transpire, wanting to get the fuck off of Dressrosa after last week, Oda teasing me with Sanji and crew, getting my boy Chopper, getting Nami, Brook back and everything like that, and yeah, Momonosuke was there too. I don't really care about Momonosuke, I'm not gonna lie, and getting that Kaido epicness. Yo, like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get the fuck off this island and get into the real shit that's about to go down. But I digress. Let's talk about the rest of this chapter. So Sengoku and TSURU show up on this island. Sengoku right now, dude, the man's swag is so beast. Like, he's just so chill. Like, you see the way he's dressed, his demeanor. He's talking about how he loves his inspector role. He's like, yo, Isho. He's like, I heard that whole spat between you and Sakazuki, man. He's like, you know what? It's all good. I'm just glad that I'm not a fleet admiral anymore. Just munching on the fucking snacks. I'm just like, yo, that kind of vibe. And she was like, shut the fuck up. You don't do shit around here. And then like 5 seconds later, she's getting entranced by Mansherry and how cute she is. Like, just seeing them all kind of surround her. Even Sengoku, he's just like, yo, like, you can take all my blood. I'm just like, yo, these fucking grown-ass motherfuckers. These real serious threats in the Marines are fanboying and fangirling over Mansherry. And she's healing everybody with her dandelion ability. And we find out, you know, how she's utilizing the Marines' blood to actually amplify her ability and spreading it all across everything. I'm just like, yo, this is cool. I like this exposition and whatnot. It's nice to see my fucking boy Sengoku there and to see the fucking Fujitora demeanor. That's really all I care about, because for 2 days, he's been sitting there slurping down ramen, parlaying with Mansherry before TSURU and Sengoku got there, rolling this die. And he's just like, the way he says it too, and I would argue, and I'm straight up going to throw it out there and argue that he's been using his you know, ability, his devil fruit power, to manipulate the landing of the die roll, because 1 was the only thing saving the Straw Hats. 2 through 6 was all, oh, let's go for their heads. Okay, so the man was clearly using his ability, and that's just part of gambling prowess. Use everything at your disposal when that's how a true master of gambling goes in. So my boy Fujitora, he's real, but to see him when TSURU's there and she's like, what if that's how you've been deciding? He's just like, should I really be going after the injured heroes of this country while they recuperate? Just with that sarcastic tone before he tosses the die. And I would argue that the only reason he let it land on anything other than 1 this time is because TSURU and Sengoku were breathing down his neck. This is the only reason. I would still argue that he has no real intention of thoroughly pursuing the Straw Hats. Like, if they get away, he's going to fall back. He's straight up going to fall back. But we'll have to see what happens in terms of a confrontation next chapter, potentially, between Luffy and Fujitora. Or even Luffy and somebody else. Like, I would love to see, like, Luffy and a dialogue between Luffy and Sengoku or something like that. That would be fucking awesome. But we don't need this skirmish right now. And from my understanding, what Luffy wants to stay back for, there's no way that he wants to stay back just to get into a little scrap. That's not Luffy. That Luffy doesn't have that drive to, oh, I need to test my abilities right now after just recovering and everything like that. There's something he legitimately needs to take care of before leaving. Whether it's talking to Rebecca, whether it's repairing the ship because he's mad pissed off about how KYROS is dodging the fact that, you know, he's her father, and we get into his mindset of, oh, you know, I'm not the type of man people want to see in the royal family, which also leads me to wonder, what's KYROS' next move going to be then? Could he potentially tag along with the Straw Hats? That would be fucking awesome. I would love for KYROS to tag along with the Straw Hats. That would be fucking beast. But in terms of a next Straw Hat member, out of the people we have on hand, it needs to be Barto. If it's not Barto, don't do it. That's just how I feel. That's just fucking how I feel. And on top of that, even not an official Straw Hat member, but just anybody getting their ass on the ship and following them. And we know Barto has to at least come with them on the ship, because it seems like he's the one that set up the ship. He has, you know, Sai and Cavendish waiting in the wings to slow the Marines' pursuit and everything like that. So anybody that's getting on the ship, I don't want Bellamy getting on the ship, I don't want Rebecca getting on the ship. Only KYROS and Barto have license for me to be actually getting on this ship. That's all. That's how I feel. That's just straight up how I feel. So in terms of the next Straw Hat debate, Barto or nothing, that's just how I feel right now. Rebecca will make me pissed off. If Barto doesn't come, I'm gonna be salty. And speaking of Kinemon and Conjuro, they were lurking around the city listening to the rumors about, you know, that KYROS has been spreading. I'm like, yo, you guys better get your ass over to the ship. If you want to be reunited, if you want to get back to Wano Kuni, you get reunited with your son, you better get your ass back to the ship. So that's all I'm saying there. But great chapter. I love the exposition, seeing King Riku, you know, finally take back the throne and kind of being like, yo, what's going to happen next? How do I, you know, what's my next move? All I can really do is try my best, like that conversation with Elizabello. Seeing Luffy wake up and, like, just genuinely upset. Just like that fucking panel where he just, like, Zoro's even yelling at him. He's like, yo, just do something. Just one thing at a time. He's, like, eating, sleeping, fucking yelling at fucking KYROS, crying because Sabo left. I'm just like, my fucking boy, this is how a real man recuperates. I'm not going to lie. But a lot of necessary exposition and seeing, you know, things move forward. We're finally gonna get the fuck off of this island. I'm so happy. But let's just go. Let's just go right now. Luffy, there's no need. Whatever it is you need to do, it can wait. Let's just leave. I want to get back to the real shit. I want to get to Kaido. I want to get to this war that he has brewing. I want to get to... If we're gonna stay, I want to see Joker. I want to see my boy Dofi and see the repercussions of his actions. You know, if we're not gonna... That's the only thing I really want to see around here. Fuji, I mean, I love fucking Isho at this point. Fujitora is probably the real, like, now that Aokiji is no longer an admiral, Fujitora is my favorite admiral. Like, granted, we haven't met the other person that, you know, Sakazuki, that Akino put in position aside. So we only know, you know, of Fujitora and of fucking Kizaru. And I always hated Kizaru, so I'm not even gonna throw that in. But right now, Fujitora is my favorite animal. Right now, the man, his pride, his honor, the way he's playing everybody, and yet he's saving face at the same time. Man is beast. But I want to get off this island. I want to get to the Kaido greatness. I'm ready to go. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the chapter. Let me know what you thought, and I'm out. Peace.